Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video we are going to be installing the Maximum Motorsports solid rack bushings for the factory K-member. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. I've already removed the rack sleeves, and I'll give you a quick overview on how to do that. We're going to have to cut these down to install the kit. Alright, so I'm under the car here. You're going to need to remove your outer tie rods on each side. You're going to need to remove your steering shaft. It'll be up in this area, 13mm bolt, and pull the steering shaft back. And if you are doing this on a stock SM95, you may need to remove the power steering feed line. I have one I made out of some AN line, so I didn't have to do that. I just set the rack off to the side. So I pried the rack forward, took out the old bushings, and these are the sleeves. And so what you're going to do for this kit is get this sleeve tapped into place in the cross member, so it's exactly where it goes. And you're going to scribe a line right flush with the K-member, and then we're going to go ahead and cut that off. So this sleeve should be completely flush with the K-member when it's tapped completely into place. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these down with an angle grinder, and then I'll probably just grind them flat because I can't cut a straight line to save my life. And then we will go on with installing the kit. So as you can see, I made my initial cut, and I put it back here in the frame to check. And as you can see, I got some stick out going on, which is no big deal. I would rather clean it up, one or two more times and get it perfect than to cut it too short on the first try. But everything's looking good, so I'm going to put my grinding disc on my angle grinder and just work this down nice and flat. And then I'll probably clean up the area around it on the subframe as well to give our rack the best area to seat to. And then I'm going to do the other side, and I'll get back with you guys. I'm all finished up with my grinding process here, so I just took a wire wheel on this drill to clean up the area around the rack, and I would just pull the sleeves out and just knock them down little by little until I got it perfect. This side is probably the better side, but they're both pretty good, so this one's good. I'll show you guys the one on the other side. But overall, cutting and making them fit only took about 15 minutes total, so really not bad at all. This is the other side. A little bit rougher, but still flush, so good enough to install the kit. We're moving on to the steering rack bushing part of the install, and while the instructions are pretty clear, the pictures are black and white and can leave a little bit to be desired. So what you're going to do is slide your bolt in from the rear with your sleeve in place, and you're going to bring the bolt forward about an inch past that sleeve that is cut flat with the K-member. We're going to install one of these silver washers, and then we're going to install this conical washer. The flat side is going to go towards the firewall, right against our flat washer here, and the conical side is going to face out. And this is our rear rack bushing. You can see it's got a concave surface. This is actually what our spherical washer rides in to keep everything nice and straight. So we're going to do that, and we're going to slide these together, like so. Then you're going to go ahead and put your rack on this. And then this is going to be your front bushing for the rack, so this is going to slide in the front of the rack. You're going to top that off with the yellow washer, and then you're going to tighten it down with the factory nut. I have the silver washer with the conical one in front of it on the bolt like I was talking about, and then I took the bushings and set them up in the back of the rack, and I just tapped them in with a mallet. They are a super nice tight fit, so I did that on both sides. So now I'm going to muscle the rack back into place here, and then I will show you guys what we're going to do with the front side. Okay, I got the rack nice and pushed back here. Not all the way. You can see it's kind of leaning. But at this point, go ahead and get your steering shaft just in the right vicinity. You can put it right on the tip of the actual input side of the rack, which is what I've done now. And now all I'm going to do is push the rack backwards, slide this bushing in the front of it, and then this washer. And then all you got to do is grab the nut, do the other side, and tighten them both down. And after that, we will reconnect the 13mm for our steering rack and our outer tie rods, and that's the end of the job. So one issue you may run into while you're doing this, which the instructions do say is a possibility, is that the silver bushing in the rear can be contacting the subframe, which is what I have on this side. The other side's not doing it. And what this is doing is it's putting the rack kind of at an angle. It's not sitting on that conical washer the same way because the bottom is not able to seat down flat like we need it to. So all we're going to do is unbolt this side, probably push the rack upwards, and I'm going to take a small punch and hammer and punch the subframe back, just so we have it so it's not touching that bushing at all. I went ahead and took a punch and tapped all that back. I'll put a picture on the screen of it that I took up close. The top is a little close to touching, but it's not touching, so I think it's okay right now, and the bottom is definitely way better. You can tell the rack is straighter. So now I just need to install the steering shaft, install my outer tie rods, and I can put the car down. I got the car lowered back down on the ground, and I got my brand new wheels and tires on. I think they look pretty good. If you do this modification, you are going to need an alignment. I've basically rebuilt the front suspension over the past day with new control arms and new wheel bearings and everything, and I have fresh inner and outer tie rods sitting on my bench, so I'm going to go ahead and put those on at work and then go ahead and do an alignment on this and get it perfect, but it's not far off for right now. But that's going to wrap up this video. Thanks for watching. If you guys could like and subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.